Hi, everybody, and welcome to this event, which is Wake Up in Your Heart with the Mitchell-Hedges Crystal Skull. And I think you all know me, but just in case, so I'm Franziska Siragusa, author, ascension leader, and principal teacher with the Diana Cooper School of White Light. And I am really very honored to be your host this evening. And it's such a privilege to have Bill Homann from Indiana with us, the guardian of the Mitchell-Hedges Crystal Skull, and of course, the skull itself. So hello, Bill, a big welcome from me.
Well, thank you very much. And it's interesting when you're having all the people from all over the world. It's a beautiful thing because, we'll work, the skull's really working to bring that universal love through to the world. And as we're little lights all over the world, we'll make a difference. And it's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. Let me introduce you briefly. So Bill became the legal guardian of the Mitchell-Hedges skull in 2007. And the skull is with you 24 hours a day, I guess, every day of the week. And your passion is helping people, and you're very devoted to your work. You've conducted thousands of meetings worldwide, and you've met many important people who are working for the shift of Earth in a higher dimension. And yeah, can I just share something before I hand over to you? An experience I had with the crystal skull last year. So I was working with a student, and we were connecting with crystal skulls generally. And to me, as usual, your skull appeared, so the skull of love. And in the meditation, I saw the skull with beautiful flowers floating around it. And it was, really beautiful image I had. And when we finished the session, I left my home to pick up my son. And then when I came back home, I saw on the floor, there was a flower petal. And I was just speechless because it was impossible, almost impossible, that this flower petal came into my home. In fact, I took a photo of it. It was really a beautiful pink flower. And well, you probably can't see it very well here, but this is my window. The shutters were down, and just the middle part was open, but only like 10 centimeters, but it was covered with a mosquito net. So to me, that was a miracle.
It is a miracle. There's so many miracles that happen around us all the time. And it's our guides and the angels that work with us that are coming through to tell us more and more. And it's our gift to be able to start recognizing what's happening to us and opening into it, because they're so happy to help us. And the more you open to it, the more they're going to come through with other little surprises like that. And it makes life a lot of fun, doesn't it?
It does, definitely. I'm experiencing so many miracles recently.
Yeah, but it's the more you open to it, the more it happens, And
Yes.
we're at a time now that this is where we're really important for all of God's men and women, creator beings that we are, to really stay away from the fear and everything and stay in our positive power, because we have the power and we are the creators. So I see a world of that peace and joy and love, and I'm so excited that I'm ready for it. The skull is too.
Well, maybe not everyone here knows how the skull surfaced. Do you want to tell that just very briefly?
Okay, where it was found, you mean, or how? Yeah. Okay. Well, it's the Mitchell-Hedges skull, and why it's called Mitchell-Hedges. Mitchell-Hedges was a British explorer, adventurer, and he was in Central America, looking for these ancient power relics connected to Atlantis, because he believed that Atlantis and the Mayas were connected. And so he was down there and he heard about a city that was buried deep in the jungle, and he wanted to find it. He wanted to uncover it. So he got all the rights and permissions, and he went in, and they were able to find this site. And there was like 7 main pyramids on the site, and it took them 3 or 4 years to cut and burn and have because the jungle covered everything. And it was, if you looked at a pyramid when walking through the jungle, it just looks like a big mountain. But once it's uncovered, then you can see all the rocks and all the different angles and parts of it. So they uncovered it, and in the tallest one, it was said that if you went to the top of it, you could see all the way to the ocean. And so his adopted daughter Anna was with them at the time, and they were not allowed to go on it because it was dangerous. There was rocks would move, the snakes and stuff. So the young kids were told never go on it. But they said if you went to the top, you could see the ocean from the top. And Anna wanted to see the ocean. And so when everyone was taking a siesta on the hot part of the day, her and a few of the Mayans snuck to the top. And when they were up there looking around, looking for the ocean, the clouds had covered the sky, and then it started to open. And when it opened, a beam of light came down and went through the rocks, and inside, it went through, and there was something inside because there was a light inside. And so when she ran down and told her father, she was in big trouble. But the next day when they woke up, he had all the men up there, and they were starting to open up the pyramid. And as they did, it started to collapse. So they had to go one stone at a time, and it took them like 6 weeks to finally get a small hole. And she was chosen to go inside of it. So they lowered her into the pyramid in the dark. It hadn't been opened for 1,000 years. And she felt around, and she found something, put it in her shirt, and brought her up. And when the sun hit it, it was like the Mayans, it was their God had returned. And so it changed everything. So it's here at a time when the world needs help. The legend says there's 13. Several of them have been found, and there's still several more to be found that are on the earth plane. Some of them are etheric, and they're not here on this plane right now, but all these skulls, they are etheric, and the fact is they can move in and out of dimensions. So it's like when we do this right now, before we start out, I'm going to just let everybody feel the skull if they choose, if they like. And it's just a very peaceful thing because it helps you to remember who you are and what you are in your soul. In your soul, it's like your DNA going deep inside of it and finding that part of you that was connected to your higher self, to the creator, and bringing that through. So it's really it's a beautiful thing. So that's where she found it. And but that's her story. Mitchell-Hedges' story is a little different. I tell her story because I sat there and listened to it over and over, but no one knows exactly who made it, how it was made. And that's the secret of the skull, that it was made in a way that you couldn't make it even today. It's made against the grain. It has lenses and prisms that are inside the skull, built into it, that direct the light. If you put a light underneath it, it comes up and there's a 90-degree turn that shoots the light out the eyes. So you can see how some natives in the dark having a light from a fire underneath it, when the rock moves, the light comes up and shoots out the eyes. I think it would have quite an effect on the natives of the time. So it's very interesting, but it has the special gifts, and what it does is it connects people with their heart. It connects them to their higher self, and opens them up to get rid of a lot of blocks. And the blocks are what keep us from being the God, men and women we really are. It's that the matrix that has been put on all of us. And with connecting to your higher self and bringing that through, strengthening your DNA and opening that up, it's life-changing, and we are at a time that we need the life-changing, because we're the world is at a point that, are we going to go forward or are we not? It's up to us. And it doesn't really matter to the other side, because they have all the time in the world. But if we have the potential now, they have all this negative happening around us, and that is to keep us as creator beings from making good things. We think about the bad things and we create that for them. So the thing is, keep your mind balanced. Look to the things you want: peace on earth, good friends, good food, good health, and all the positive stuff, and see that as the world of peace and love and joy that we can create as creator beings. Now, it's a timeline. Not everybody has to come on our timeline, but as far as I'm concerned, that's what I'm wanting. I want a timeline that we have come together as a spiritual beings that we really are, and bringing that love and light in. So that's pretty much what it is. Did I cover the question pretty good or not? I get carried away.
You have. Now, people are already asking questions in the chat, but do you want to answer those?
Yeah, I can answer some questions, sure.
Okay, so at the moment, there's a question. Could you recommend where to purchase a skull and what to look for?
Okay. Well, you know what it's probably made out of is really important. And in Brazil, they have fine crystal. Some of the clearest crystal in the world comes from Arkansas, but the ones that come from the Himalaya areas, it's a very dense, powerful crystal. So, but it's really a very natural thing with you. Just if you feel it, you'll know it. And it's not like, oh, I don't think I like it, but if it's right, you're going to know it and you'll want it. It'll almost communicate to you right from the beginning. So what it's like when the skull came out in the 70s to the world, nobody knew that much about it or anything about it. And it's like when a rock that's hit a pond and all these little ripples are going out. And now there's millions of skulls around, but they're also all work, and they can work to help you and help humanity. And that's what wasn't expected, is the power of the crystal skull. So if you have one, they become like a friend. So enjoy.
And I'm interested to know what you've experienced in Egypt, because you sent me photos, but you didn't tell me anything.
Okay, well, you know what? Yeah, Egypt was quite an experience, and the fact we went with a group of all very light worker people that had a lot of different abilities. There were doctors, archaeologists, etc., that were on the group too, and so we hit every one of the pyramids and every one of the temples up and down the Nile, and so that was quite the experience. But I had a special mission with the skull when I was at the Giza pyramid, and they said that there was a key on this one wall, and it was important to open the key. So when we went there, we spent 2.5 hours inside the chamber at 130 degrees. You think it's nice and cool inside those pyramids, but they're all granite. But when they cook on the outside, they cook you on the inside. And so it's a good way to lose weight. But we were in there and on the one wall and working etherically, found the key, and the key was important because when they opened the key, it opened a pathway between the king's chamber and the queen's chamber. And that pathway opened up the energy between the male and the female energy and brought them in balance where they had been unbalanced. It was the Lemurian energy from the female and the Lanta as the male energy, and there was that friction and fighting back, thousands of years ago that caused the imbalance between male and female. And so by opening that and connecting the two together and balancing that out, it was also bringing the priest into the priest in their full power, but the priestess was the main thing in bringing back their knowledge and opening them up to their full power and capability as the female. The female has in gifts more power than the male, and the male has certain powers, but the two together form the circle. And when one circle is this way and the other one's just down here, it's not in balance. So now with the balance is going to make some changes, and we were ready for the changes. And in working with it, the lady that was the Egyptologist was with us, and she was at the door, paying off the guards so we could stay longer. And so we were working on that energy at that portal there. And what she said, she's taken hundreds and hundreds of groups in there. But when she was there with us, she was watching the walls pulsate. So that was pretty amazing. She's never seen anything like it. So we were bringing the energy through and bringing it up and back down. It was really intense. So that, what was my favorite one? There was a lot of favorite ones, but that kind of stood out because it was something I needed to experience and get through. And we would put crystals at all the various temples and all the pyramids throughout Egypt. And they were all programmed for peace, love, and healing on for the human being and for the planet.
That sounds really fascinating. And of course, that's exactly what we need for this new era, the masculine and the divine feminine to come into balance again.
And I see so many people in all these different groups all over the world, and truth is truth, and it's coming out all over, and it's like seeds. Somebody threw a whole bunch of seeds all over the earth, and these seeds are growing, and we're all coming together as that spiritual family. We're starting to see who and what we are. We're taking back our power as human beings, and it's making the difference. We're making a difference in the world, and with that is that love, and that's the skull's here for that. And that's my gift, is I get to work with a lot of people, and it helps change lives and open hearts. So I have a lot of joy and fun with that as I travel.
And so someone is asking whether you had the skull with you in the pyramid.
Okay, I have a little problem with the taking the actual skull out of the country right now, so I don't do that. But I did take connected crystals with me, and we're able to use them at the sacred sites.
Oh, I see. Wow, that's amazing.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, in fact, someone is also asking whether you could host a tour to Egypt with the skull, but you've already answered that, so you can't take it into the country.
At this time, no, but I feel things are changing, and that could be a possibility in the future, because I think having that, because there's sacred sites is what is pulling me. Like when I first took over as the keeper of the skull in 2007, I was immediately invited over to Australia to do some work over there. And so I've never been to Australia. I like adventure, so I was ready to go. Okay. But when I got there, I was met by the Aborigines who were saying that I was coming there years and years before that. They were telling everybody I was coming. So when I got there, they were ready for me, and they took me to a site out by this old caldera, ancient volcano, and they said the sun line, they call them sun lines, was disrupted between here, and there was a spot that it needed to be restarted. So they took the skull and me, and we placed the skull in the right place, and they told me what to do, and then did the ceremony. And then about 20 minutes later, they stopped, thanked me, and I picked it up and left. But what they said is the sun line was blocked for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. And it was a line that went from there through the sea all the way to Machu Picchu. So we opened up that sun line, but that gave me the understanding that, there's more to the work than just, working with people. It's working with the lines and the power on the planet. So I've taken that up, and I've been to many of the sacred sites, because there was a time that I was traveling with the skull all over the world, and took it to many sites in Europe and South America. I was in South America with it, and Australia, so different places, and all through the United States, and where there was the places that I say, because I work with indigenous, a lot of the different tribes, and work with them, and they work with me taking it to their sacred sites and working with the energy. So it just, I always learned to don't think about it, but go with the flow. And it seemed like the flow takes you to some of the most interesting places. And that's what I've been doing.
So there are several people in the chat who say they would like to go with you to Egypt.
Well, you know what? Well, I'll put it on the Mitchell-Hedges.com webpage when I'm going, and I'd love to have them go too, because I think that would really be powerful. Yep. And
okay. And can I ask you one more question? So what do you consider the most astonishing fact about the skull? Well,
probably the most astonishing fact is it's people don't understand the enormity of it. It's sitting here. It's just as, but it's an energy that goes around everything. And people come in and they think they're going to do this, but it's all, everything is kind of bigger than you could imagine. But it's worth a very peaceful type energy, and it works, and a lot of different changes in people, healing in people. It's really pretty neat. Yeah. So probably the fact is it's not understood, and it's underestimated so much. You have no idea of what it is and what it's doing.
And is it correct that it actually inspired the Indiana Jones movies?
Well, what happened with that was, back in 1979, there's a friend of ours that wrote the book, The Skull Speaks. She's the psychic from Canada, Carol Davis Wilson. And she got a call from this guy and was working in Toronto and wanted to know all about Mitchell-Hedges, all about the skull in 79. And so she told him all about it, and she told him about Sammy, and he wanted to talk to Sammy, but Sammy was leaving the next day for England, so she couldn't see him, but he got all the information, he got pictures and everything, and he thanked her. And then about 4 years later, he came out with a movie, and it was Raiders of the Lost Ark. It was Steven Spielberg. And but what he had is, when he, in the movie, when he got the gold skull off the altar, that was supposed to be a crystal skull. And because of his lawyers and everything, they kept the crystal skull out of it until Anna passed. And then they did the one with the crystals, Anna, or the Mitchell-Hedges, or not the Mitchell-Hedges, but the Indiana Jones and the crystal skull. So there was a real close connection. And in that movie, he 5 or 6 times he brought the Mitchell-Hedges skull, talking about it in the movie Indiana Jones and the crystal skull. So there was a connection there. And so that's why when I go around and talking, I say Indiana Jones is here, And but now what I do is something else. I was going through some papers, and I found this one paper, and it was written to Mitchell-Hedges by the head of naval intelligence, and it was kind of a coded letter and didn't make much sense. So I sent a copy to a friend of mine, and he found on the bottom, how they have to put their initials. The person that writes it has to put their initials on it. That's how it, on all the military papers and all the official papers, they always have to, whoever typed it has to put their initials. And he found out, looked at the initials and had them checked, and you know who it was? It was the guy that was from London, because it was sent from London, and the guy's name was Ian Fleming.
Do you know that? You know who that is, right? That's James Bond.
Yes.
So now when I go on that thing, I say Indiana Jones and James Bond, my two favorite, my two favorite people. You gotta have fun in life, right?
Oh yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Mhm.
So someone is asking whether you are thinking of coming back to Australia.
Oh, you know what? I'd love to go back to Australia. I'd love to go there, and when the time is right, you know, I think that'll happen because there's a lot of. I like to work more with the Aborigines there. They have so much knowledge. They have a crystal skull, and I'd like to be able to work with their crystal skull and also meet with the people because they're beautiful people there.
Okay. So would you like to start the meditation now?
Sure. Before I start though, I want everyone just to close their eyes and relax for a second. And just as you close your eyes, just feel the skull. It's right there. And I'm going to start the energy flowing to you. And I'm just going to let it go out and just feel a wave go right into your heart. And with that wave, feel it, the love that's coming through. I like almost like I love you. And you feel it coming from the skull. Feel it right there. And then it just expands. There you go. And it's saying have fun. That's what it's all about. Okay. So now take a couple of slow, deep breaths, breathing in that beautiful light and love. And as it comes through your body, just feel it releasing, letting go, and any kind of tension as you breathe it out, and feel your body relax. And just feel the smile. The skull is giving you a big smile right now. And as that happens, just concentrate on your third eye. And as you concentrate, you look up into the heavens and you bring down this beautiful light, this light from the Creator, and just feel it coming down. And it'll come right down through the crown chakra, right through the skull, right through the earth, down deep into the earth. Just see it, feel it going down and touching into the heart of the Mother Earth, Gaia, coming up with, she loves all of us so much, and that love can be felt as it comes back. Bring it right into your heart. And then into the skull, and the skull is lighting up with that light. And there's an energy beam from the skull that's going right into your heart. And I have connected the other 12 skulls with us, and we're in balance with all of them right now. And just let the joy and peace fill you. And as that energy expands, and wherever we are, in whatever part of the earth, just feel us being connected in love and light. Now, there's so much happening in the world, so let that energy build and build around all of us, and let that ball of energy just come up into the air, up into the sky, up into the heavens. This whole ball of energy with your family, your spiritual family working with you right now. And as they do, you're going to take it and you're going to send it to the South Pole, and you're going to send it to the North Pole, and you're going to send it to the East and the West. And then just let it filter around the whole of the earth, this beautiful, beautiful diamond light of love and light and freedom and peace on earth. And so now with that, you're free to travel, and you have the gift of healing and light, and send it where the world needs peace, where the world needs health, the world needs freedom from war, freedom from disease. You have the gift of light. Send that light to wherever you feel needs it. Go now. And with that, just feel the joy that's coming over you, because you are the ambassador of this light. Send it now.
Let's bring us back into the center again. And as we do, it's so important that we as creator beings not only create for the world, but for ourselves, our family, our friends, our world, and putting that in. So now I want you to see all the wonderful things, the peace, the joy, the love, the friendship, the love between all of humanity coming together now in your world that you're creating. See it now, build it now. You are the creators. Anything you want, build it now. And let the joy flow through, because that's what's coming through really strong. Okay, let's bring us back now. Bring us back now on the count of 5. 1, just feel the energy flowing through your body. 2, just feel it coming in, out your fingertips and toes. You're coming back. Feel the love, feel the light. 3, hold that love right in your heart. It's yours. Take it with you. Send it to all that need it. 4, you're almost back. And 5 has been counted. Come back now whenever you're ready. God's love. Connection between the other skulls open, and much blessings to all of the great ones that have joined us on this. The beings, the etheric, the angels, archangels, all those beings. Thank you so much. God's love.
Thank you so much, Bill.
Thank everybody so much. We're all doing it together, and it's a beautiful thing. And
It
it's
was
connecting your third eye, your pineal gland, and your heart together. That's our power. So God's love. Wow.
it was incredible, such a powerful energy, so much love. I could really, feel everything.
Yeah. Could you
Like,
feel when the skull at the beginning, did you feel it going right into your heart?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I saw the skull like floating in the cosmos. It was absolutely huge. And I saw it connected to all our hearts. And it was like we became extensions of the
Yes,
skull.
that is true.
Whereas normally I would think of a crystal becoming an extension of me, but
Okay.
like smaller crystals.
Yeah.
But
But
this
yeah.
was the other way around. It was like we all became extensions of the skull and the higher beings, how they all joined in. And I could really see how, we come together as spiritual beings and just have fun, enjoy ourselves.
And
And
remember, we're out of the
yes,
matrix. We're gonna be our powerful selves once again. So that's what's so exciting. And we're gonna have our own timeline. And whatever anybody else wants to do, that's one thing. But we're gonna go forward into a place of peace and joy and love. And it's time.
absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, the energy is still flowing. It's still the work. I think the work is still going on. For a moment, I couldn't speak when we finished. And yeah, let's see what the people say here in the chat. That was amazing. Thank you so much. Susan, I felt it right at the beginning. It made me cry. It was just amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Pure, powerful love. Starting from the third eye chakra, expanding to all levels of the body. I feel the crystal skull helping me clean up excess energies. My eyes can't help but feel wet, so touched.
Much love.
Simone.
Yeah, every one of us are so important, and you come and you think, oh, I'm just going to do a meditation, but you're there for a reason, and your reason is because what you have to give for all of us is important. So this person has this part of the puzzle, this one has this, and now we've put out something that's sending out much light and love to all the world and all the worlds, not just our world. Yeah. You guys are awesome. It's been awesome. Yeah.
Simone, incredible, powerful. I felt such an expansion of my heart field, yes. And so much connection. Also the other places in the universe. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So much love. I've seen the being of the skull just in front of my third eye.
And he loves you very, very much because it's that universal love that we're all connected to, and it's time. Yes.
Someone waiting, Chang. She can't understand English, but she can feel the energy and the full love that helps her release energy, love energy, family energy, other aspects. I'm not aware of that. I'm dealing with at this stage. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sandra saw the skull connect to all mountains around the world, the forests, whales,
Wow.
dolphins,
Yes.
oceans, and humanity.
Wow. So thank you for your beautiful work you do in bringing people together. So that's so awesome.
Well, it's absolutely an honor for me that you were here with us, Bill. Thank
It's
you
my
so
joy
much.
and my pleasure, and they have lots of my heart. So lots going out to you.
It's truly been a blessing to be the
Yeah,
host for this.
just close your eyes for a second and just let that energy flow through you.
It's flowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, peace on earth, goodwill to all men and women, all life forms that we have that are here now. Send that hope and joy and love.
Someone is raising their hand. Would you like to ask a question, Stacy? Or maybe it's not intentionally.
You know, you're talking about flowers, and you can see the skull likes flowers. Kath got from the yard, there were still some flowers left, and so we kept the skull nice and happy with all the flowers around it. And there's your pink flower right there.
Yes, and I know the skull loves flowers. I spent an hour today trying to find flowers for the skull because here, apparently on Mondays, flower shops are closed.
Oh,
But I did find them in the end, beautiful flowers.
So yeah. Yeah, it also likes bowls. So when we play the bowls for it or the flute, oh, it really loves the flute and the bowls. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah, because it's all about light, sound, and frequency. That's what the skull works on. That's how it was created, through light, sound, and frequency. So there's that love for those, you know, vibrations that are of love and of light. So yeah.
There's a question, are all skulls connected? She means Sandra is asking whether all the skulls are connected to the 13 skulls.
Okay, there's different types of connections, okay? So there's different types. But if you work with your skull, you will build more of connections. And if you yeah, that's a nice one. That's a beautiful one. Look at how clear it is too. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, but you know what it is? It becomes a friend, doesn't it? It's pretty neat how that is. Yeah. So just there's the consciousness of Crystal is amazing. So yeah.
It is. I mean, I have it here during the day. At night, I take it to my bedroom.
Yeah.
Like you, I keep it with me. Yes. Okay, someone is asking whether they can receive the recording. Yes, you will.
Yeah, I'm glad we recorded it. It was
Yes.
That worked out really nice. Yeah.
Yes, I think it's nice for the people to go back and do it again.
Yeah. And then people that didn't get a chance to, sometime they'll probably be able to get right into it too. So
yes, exactly, because some people who registered didn't join us, so they can also join us. The angels will synchronize, so even if they weren't here at this moment, it will be as if they were.
Yeah, I believe it. I feel it. Yeah. And there were so many, also different parts of the globe. It was really cool how that energy was all around. Yeah. So neat.
Yes, I got a sense. I started sending it to my city, then to the whole country, to Europe and the rest of the world.
Yes. Yeah, that's because as we were going out, each one should, go to their home base and send it all through there and send it to the leaders and open their hearts to this love and light, and it'll make a big difference, because we're all one family here, and it's time to wake up to who and what we are. So yeah.
Yeah, and in my vision, the skull was literally huge, really showing the enormity of its power, and the earth was small. and we were small as well. The skull was like huge, absolutely huge, sort of spanning the cosmos as it was working with us. It was really amazing.
Yeah.
As Pin Xuan Huang is sharing that she felt the energy of the big skull was connected to the small skull next to her, helping it expand its energy. My electric fan suddenly accelerated its wind speed and became very loud. Yes.
You never know what's going to happen, do you? Everybody look for that little petal of flower now, right?
Yeah, I mean, we underestimate how powerful we are. I have another little miracle story I experienced recently. So I was in my bathroom and I have a mirror with LED lights. And these LED lights, they had not been working for many months. And I asked someone to have a look at them, and they told me, well, with this kind of mirror, it's once it's finished, you have to replace it. You can't replace the light bulbs, but throw away the whole thing, and you need to replace it. And a week or two ago, I was standing in my bathroom, and because the weather is changing, it's getting darker, and there wasn't so much light. And I was thinking, okay, I really wish this cabinet would work again. These light bulbs would come on. And then I started talking to the light, and I just had this desire from the heart that it would come on. And I just talked to the light. I said, please come on again. I would really like you to work. And I don't believe you're broken. I think it's just a bad connection. And the lights literally came on.
Yeah.
I didn't touch anything. I was just talking. And with my mind, I was wishing they would come on. And they're now working perfectly ever since.
Yeah, there's so many times now that the more what you think about is what you're getting, and it's happening faster and faster. So we just have to have, take time to really understand that the power of your mind and your wants and desires are being sent out, and they're being heard, and they're happening because the veil is so thin now. So that's a beautiful story. Yeah, that is. That's awesome.
It really increased my belief in my ability to create miracles.
Yeah, that is true. Because and you did it, and know that how it's a gift that you can build. The more you do it, the more you're getting help from the other side, and the more that it'll make things happen right away. So that's pretty cool.
Because sharing it with people will also help them. It will encourage them to believe that they can.
And believe in them to do it too. So
exactly.
yeah, that's what you and I are doing here today. We're giving people this belief that they can do it. We're all doing it.
They can do anything for the highest good.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
When will the other skulls come to light? Now that's an interesting question.
Yeah, everything is on the proper time. Okay. And it's like you could have a crystal skull, one of the crystal skulls sitting on your front porch, and it's been there for 20 years, and everybody walks past it, but nobody realizes it because the energy is not right. So that's like the skulls are buried in different places. You can not see them until the time is right, and then all of a sudden, you see them, there they are. And that's more to that than you know. They do appear and disappear. So if you're supposed to see it, you'll see it. Yeah, when I was in Egypt, I was working years before that. I was working with Carol Wilson, the psychic, and she's telling me that she saw them open up a chamber near Luxor,
and they found some stuff, and one of them was a crystal skull.
Oh,
And so when I was over there, I got to work with the head of archaeology for the country. And I asked him that same question because I wanted to see it, because I felt that I could, since I'm working with crystal skulls is something that I've done quite a bit of, and I could probably help them in realizing what they had and what they could do with it. But they have to go through all these channels. They have to get this person to okay it and this person to okay it. But he did tell me that they did find a skull over there. So that was a confirmation.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So the consciousness that is the skull, why do you think they took on this particular form?
Okay, well, they used the skull because it would be something that was loved very much or feared, and it would be
Yes.
protected for ages. If it was something that didn't have any kind of a real could be written on a bowl or something like that. It could be used for somebody that found it just to make dinner with, But the skull is such that you can, with the energy, you can see it's something special, and it also connects to the intelligence of storing knowledge in the brain, like it's the computer. And the skull has, with light and sound, the knowledge of the universe has been stored within the crystal itself, because once you store it that way, it's there forever. And so that's where how they stored the knowledge in the skull.
Amazing. Okay, so
So,
our hour is up.
okay, well, it's been wonderful with everyone, and much love to all that's here, and thank you for being a part of our sending love and light to the world.
Thank you so much, Bill, for this. And yes, thank you everyone for joining in. It has truly been a blessing.
Okay, thank you.
So
Bye-bye.
we can stop the recording here.